Hello. Welcome to Thursday Night Mini Healings. Duncan is here assisting me. We'll see how long that lasts. So I hope everybody is doing well. And yeah, 11/18. The month is going fast. Pretty soon it'll be Christmas. So let me just get the chat turned on. Trying to think if there's anything new. I've got a few things. So if you are new or watching the replay, at about 10 minutes in, we will start with the first healing pulse. And then we'll do some individual healing. And typically we'll do at least a couple more healing pulses. And then we'll do a mix of group healing, individual healing, and then some other things too. Tonight, I think it'll be fairly low key, which that's okay. I do have one of our regulars that has called in and won't be here, but we're going to do some healing for her that she'll catch up on the replay. But yeah, definitely planning on it being just a low-key evening, which I think as it gets colder and darker, that's an okay thing. So, little Duncan's just sitting here. Are you snoring? No? He's just making like a growly, snoring kind of noise. So, he's sitting here. My other little guy, Dexter, is wrapped up in a blanket. He's on my other side. So, yes. Just going to see what we did last week. So, last week, we worked on some group work with the map of consciousness and also working on clearing your pineal glands, and then we talked a little bit about the 11/11 portal. And so this week, it'll actually be week 5 that we've been working on the map of consciousness, working on elevating everyone, and then I'm not sure if we'll do some pineal work. Maybe we'll wait till next week. So just a few things going on. Definitely fairly low-key. So if you've got anything you want to work on specifically, let me know. And we'll do a mix of that along with the healing pulse. So let's see what time it is. So about 6 minutes from now, we will start with the first healing pulse. And right before that starts, I will give instructions. But for many people, especially if you can connect with my energy, it helps with a variety of things. Really good for physical things and emotional things, anxiety. But the most important thing is just be open to whatever is meant to happen. So, and then there is Joanne. Hi, Joanne. Hope you're doing well. I'm expecting just a low-key, quiet night, Joanne. And we will be doing a healing pulse in 5 minutes or so. Ooh, excuse me, slurps. So I'm looking to see This is week number 70 of the Thursday night mini healings. That's sort of a lot. Have you had snow where you're at, Joanne? Oh, I'm so sorry. So Graham's got lung cancer. Oh, that's not good. I'm sorry. We had a few inches of snow here, but luckily the last couple days it's been warmer and it has melted, but the wind has been really cold. Duncan's so weird. Sometimes he just stares. Oh, Duncan, you're just a weird little dog sometimes. Yes. No licking. So, 3 minutes for the healing pulse. I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. Move this over a little bit. Oh, and there is Anne Marie. Good evening, Anne Marie. I hope you were well. We were just talking about snow. So, Joanne and Anne Marie, both of you are in Canada. Did you know that? Not sure how close you are. Oh, and there's Donna. Welcome, Donna. We will be starting our first healing pulse in a couple moments. Oh, and there's Marina. And Marina, our world traveler, is in Austria. So I was wondering about that, Marina. In Austria, do they speak German there? Or what language is their like base language? I'm assuming there's a lot of English, or how are you speaking with the local people there? Oh, I speak a tiny bit of German. I had a couple of years of high school German, but my accent is so horrible. So, yes. So, Marina, do you speak German too? Verstehst du Deutsch? Yeah, that's a bad Americanized German accent. So we will start in just a moment during our first healing pulse of the evening, and I'll give you instructions in just a moment. So I can understand that. Good for you, though, Marina. Yeah, I never got the hang of rolling my R's for German, but I still remember a handful of phrases. But I think if you at least try speaking it, they'll hopefully try and help you out, right? Okay, we are ready now for our first healing pulse of the evening, and so we're gonna start with instructions. Sorry, just a little distracted. You just need to go to sleep, Duncan. And so with the healing pulse, it goes to where you direct the energy to go. And so if you have a physical issue, say your knee hurts, that is the perfect place to send the energy. However, not everybody has something physical to work on. So think about if you've got something emotional or if you've got anxiety. If you have something like that, then you want to think about where do you feel that? Like if you're anxious, is it sort of, do you feel it in your chest? Or does your throat get dry? Or like with me, it's like the pit of my stomach. And so think about the location. If you don't have anywhere at all, oh, and there's Joan visiting us on YouTube. Oh, and Divine, welcome, welcome. And so if you don't have anywhere you want to send the healing energy, I would suggest just sending it to your head or your heart. So to start, I want you to rub your hands together and place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Next, I want you to imagine my hands are on top of your hands. So not only are you receiving your own healing frequencies, but you're receiving mine too. And so here's the most important part. I want you to be open and allowing the energy to flow exactly to where it needs to go and where you want it to go. And then just breathe in the healing. Imagine the energy pulsing through. It might even have a temperature. A lot of people feel warmth when they're talking about energy. Some don't feel really much of anything. But the key is just be open and allowing. Imagine it just going where it needs to go and just breathe it in. And so just sit and absorb the energy for the next minute or two, okay? Okay, that was our first healing pulse of the night. So let me know how you did. Welcome, Sissy. Divine, I think you were here a few weeks ago. Am I remembering that? Okay, so I've got my list. Let me know what you want to work on. So far, I've got one person on my list. And let's see what we can do. And so the first person I've got on my list is actually Valerie, who will not be here tonight, but she put in a special request. Oh, Marina, that's a new one. Is that something about where you're at or just change or? Okay, Sissy, I'm going to put down your knee. All right. So I'm going to get started, but as you guys comment, I will write you in my book so I don't forget. Okay. Donna, left thigh muscles. Okay, so I'll put you down for that. All right, so Joan has made a comment in YouTube, which all you Facebook people will not see because unfortunately Facebook and YouTube do not go back and forth. So I will add Jones. So I think, so last week, Joan, you had a broken your heart and your heart was in 3 pieces. Or no, your heart was initially in 4 pieces. And currently it's in 2. So we're going to see if we can just make it into 1. All right, Joanne. Got tight hamstrings. Okay, so we're going to start with Valerie, and I'll just see what tool we're going to use. And we're going to use the emotion code, which I haven't used in a while. So let me get that up on my phone. Like many things, there is an app. And so let me pull that up. So with the emotion code, it's a lot smaller than some of the lifts I've been using lately, like the emotion or the negative emotion list that I've been using that has like over 400. With the emotion code, it has 60 trapped emotions. So I've talked about it every once in a while. With pulling trapped emotions, there is a tool called the emotion code. I actually am certified in that. And the person that created it then updated the information so that updated the information to the body code, realizing that there's more things going on than just emotions. And so I'm just logging in. Ooh, it doesn't like my login. Let me try something else. We'll see if I can get in this way. Doesn't like that either. Isn't that just fun? So let me try one other thing. And if I can't get into the app, which every once in a while, when I really want to get in, it decides no. So let me just see. Okay. I looked at my secret password list. So let me see if that helps. I don't think it is because I think that's what I was putting in. But let me just see. Okay. Cross your fingers this works. Otherwise, I do have it somewhere else. Oh, it let me in. Yay! So as long as I have it up, I will show you. So this is it's called Body Code 2.1. They have since upgraded it, and they charge you, I think, Joan actually told me they're charging $300 a year, and they initially wanted everybody to pay like $29 a month. So this is the old version that came when I bought the Body Code package. So with this, once Dr. Bradley Nelson realized that it's not just emotions, but it's about energies, circuits and systems, toxins, pathogens, misalignments, and nutrition and lifestyle, he created this. But initially, he started with emotions. And so here is, can you see that? So there are 2 columns and 6 rows. So that's where I get 60 trapped emotions. And so with Valerie, this is what I'm going to use to help her. And with Valerie, we get unworthy, and I'll get an age. Around age 26, unworthy. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that. And so that did release. All right, Marina, you are next. Let's see what we're going to do. Thank you for explaining that, Marina. Yeah, it sounds something a little new. So that's why I was curious if it was something about your, where you're at. So let's see if I am getting there's a trapped emotion related to it. So let's see what that is. Panic. Let me get an age on that. Round 16. Let's go ahead and release that. Yes, Donna, he is just the sweetest thing, but he doesn't learn about licking. So he's being really good right now, but he will do some really naughty, gross things, and then I'll come and want to lick my face, and it's so disgusting. So I'm trying to teach him not to lick at all, but I'm having some trouble. All right, so Marina, I did get the panic to release and remove. Sissy, we are working next on your knee. Let's see if there's an underlying reason why. You've still got some knee issues. You've been dealing with that for quite a while. Have you had that for a really long time? Because I think we first started working on that, was that this summer? And getting the trapped emotion of vulnerability. Let me get an age on that. Around age 27. So let's go ahead and release that because that's playing a role. Two years. Wow, that's a long time. You are welcome, Marina. Okay. Very good. So that did release, and the voids have been filled. Donna, you are next. Yeah. I wouldn't mind it if he didn't do such nasty things, Anne-Marie. He is just the sweetest little boy. Except when he's not, I guess, right? Okay. All right. So Donna, left thigh muscle. Let's see. And we're going to continue using the emotion code list. You're welcome, Sissy. self-abuse. Let me get the age for that. Around age 37, Donna. I don't know if that rings a bell. I'm going to go ahead and release that. And that did release. And the voids have been filled. Take a little walk around your room and see if that made a difference. You too, sissy. All right, so Joan, you are next. So let's see what we can do for Joan. And with Joan, there is a trapped emotion. Stubbornness, Joan. It's playing a role. Let me get an age. Around age 23. Let's go ahead and release that. Okay. That did release, and the voids have been filled. And Joanne, we've got tight hamstrings. Let's see what's going on with that. There is an emotional component with that. So I always say, Donna, when your pain or your discomfort moves, that's usually a good thing because that means we can work with it. It's the pain that stays exactly the same and doesn't move, doesn't feel any different. That oftentimes I feel is harder to work with, but things that shift around make me think, there's something that we can do. So we're gonna keep working on that, Donna. So I think that's a good thing. All right, so Joanne, tight hamstrings. Taken for granted. Let me get an age on that. So I'm releasing that. And the voids have been filled. I'm just checking to see if I missed anybody. So Anne-Marie, feel free to put something down. And Divine too. But if you want to watch, that's fine too. Okay. What time is it? So we are going to do our second healing pulse of the night. And then we will come back and do another round of individual healing. All right. So if everyone's ready. Now, if you sent energy to a certain place during your first healing pulse, you can, send it to the same place and imagine the energy going deeper and doing even more healing. But imagine that the energy reaching even further into the issue and sending healing, pulsing energy to it. If you don't want to send it to the same place, pick another place or send to your head or your heart. So rub your hands together until they are warm, and then place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. So like for me right now, Duncan just laid down. I'm going to send energy to him. And imagine my hands on your hands. So not only are you getting your own healing energy, but mine too. And then just breathe in that energy. And for those of you who do notice that you feel the energy more or feel a stronger sensation when you do breath work, let's start with the box breath. So I want you to breathe in really deep and hold it. And then let it all out. And as you're letting it out, imagine everything that doesn't belong to you, doesn't serve you, and isn't there for your highest good being released. And once you release all that, hold it again. So you're going to breathe in and hold. And out. And then hold. In and hold. And out and hold. And just keep doing that. Okay, so that was Healing Pulse number 2. So let me know how you did. Anne-Marie, thank you, because I did miss your comment the first time around, so I appreciate you putting that in again. All right, so we're going to do Anne-Marie and looking to work on commitments. Unsupported. Let me get an age on that for you, Anne-Marie. Around age 17. So let's go ahead and release that because that definitely doesn't serve you. So that did release. And the voids have been filled. All right, so we're going to go back up to Valerie and work on her. Good, Sissy. We'll do another round and just see. Based on past conversation I've had with you, Joanne, I believe you too. So I'm hoping that this changes because that affects interactions with current people in your life if you feel that you've been taken for granted. So hopefully that will shift some things for you too. All right, so Valerie, we're going to see what we get for you. And I don't have too many people that this comes up with, but Valerie has an inherited trapped emotion, which means this is something that has come from her family. So let's see what it is and how far back it goes. And it's the trapped emotion of terror. So let's see. So with inherited, I always check and see if it's the mother's side or the father's side. And this is father's side, which Sissy and Donna, you might have this too because you're all sisters. So let's just see, did this start with father? No, but it's father's side. So how many generations back? 4 generations back. So if you consider father 1 generation, so grandfather, grandmother 2 generations, so it would be great great grandparents, one of them. And it was terror. So let's release that. And generally, when there is something that runs through the family, many people often have it, although sometimes it does skip people. So my intention when I clear this from Valerie is I will also clear it from everyone in the family who has this, never to be recreated. Okay, so I am getting that released from Valerie. So Sissy and Donna, be observant, and just see if you notice things a little differently, especially when it comes from things that scare you. All right, so next, Marina. And Marina's dealing with a situation where she's just has this scared feeling. So let's see what else is playing a role, because I am getting that there's more. Panic again, Marina. Let me get an age on that. And when you have a trapped emotion and it keeps getting trapped, it can really trigger you with hardly anything. So let's go ahead and release this after I get an age. Age 18, Marina. So let's go ahead and release that. So I'm getting that did release with the voids being filled. Sissy, you are next with your knee. Sissy, I'm getting you've got an inherited emotion too. So let's see what that is. Unsupported. So let's see where this comes from for you. And this also comes from your father. So this could affect Valerie too. So let's see because it didn't start with your father. Let's see how far back this one goes. Wow, 6 generations back. And that is the hard thing about inherited trapped emotions. You don't really have any control. So let's just go ahead and release that. This makes you feel really not supported by the universe, by your family, by your friends. It makes you really super sensitive to this. And the sad thing is when you've got trapped emotions relating to a certain thing, it makes you so sensitive that your friends or family might look at you and think, what's the big deal? It's nothing. And it very well might be nothing, but because you have this trapped emotion, you are so hair trigger sensitive to it that a tiny bit seems like a great deal. So with this, Sissy, I'm going to release this from you and anyone in your whole family. So this also means aunts, uncles, cousins, distant cousins, because this going 6 generations back, this has probably affected people that you don't even know, just because that's a lot of people. So let's go ahead and release unsupported. Well, so Anne Marie, you said that 17. So that was a meaningful time for you. So it's good that we released unsupported, because unsupported is one of those tough things. I think especially for women, sometimes life is just really hard when we're trying to get ahead. And that does not make things even any easier. All right, so Marina, let's see. Well, hopefully we can keep working on this, and so you don't get so anxious. All right, so Sissy, I am getting that released. And so be observant and see if you notice a difference, especially with unsupported. All right, next, Donna. We're going to work on your left thigh muscle. I don't know what it is with your family, but Donna also has an inherited trapped emotion. I think there was one show where I worked specifically with inherited trapped emotions, but this really doesn't often come up on this show. And now it's your whole family has it. That's just, I find very interesting. So let's see. Creative insecurity. So let's see where this came from. And this again is your father's side of the family, so it affects potentially all 3 of you. And let's just see how many generations back. This one's 5 generations back. So let's go ahead and clear this from anyone in the entire family who has it. Okay, so that did release and the voids have been filled. Okay, next, Joan. Let's just see. All right, so Joan, I'm getting that your heart is back into one piece, but let's see if we can do something to make it a little easier. We're going to remove grief from you. Let's see what age that got trapped. Age 26, Joan. So let's go ahead and release that. Okay, that did release and the voids have been filled. Okay, Joanne, tight hamstrings. Let's see what we have as an underlying reason for that. Unsupported. Let me get an age on that. $29, Joanne. So let's get rid of that. Because especially unsupported and taken for granted, that's not good. Oh, Joan. I hope this helps. All right, Anne Marie, you are next. We're going to work on commitment. And with Anne Marie, we've got lack of control. So sisters, Sissy and Donna, with those inherited trapped emotions, let me know if that played a role in your pains. Lack of control, Emery, around age 28. So let's go ahead and release that. So that did release, and the voids have been filled. So let's do another healing pulse, and then we'll chat a little bit about, I'm not sure if we should do the map of consciousness again. I do sort of like that. I think we're making progress. With the pineal, I think a lot of that, some of the things with that overlap. But we'll see what comes up with that, unless anyone has any suggestions. Deep breathing and yawning. Wow, Joanne, that means you're making progress. Well, tears are near is not a bad thing when you're releasing and healing. So imagine that you're just letting it out. Just get your tissue. So some of these things that we pulled tonight, really big. So when you think about it, if you still want to work on these issues, the unsupporteds, the lack of control, the terror, the panic, the vulnerability, think about where that lives within you. If you're not sure exactly, I suggest sending it to your heart and just imagine it expanding. Donna, that's a really good sign that the energy is affecting you. So we'll be done. Actually, we're going to be done early tonight. We're going to do a few more things. So hang in there, because I think it'll help you. And then I suggest getting a really good full night's sleep. So let's have everyone rub your hands together. And again, if you're not sure where you want to send this, imagine you're going to send it to your heart. And as I place my hands on your hands, imagine the energy just spreading out and going exactly to where it needs to go. And just breathe it in. Be open and allowing. Healing these trapped emotions that we released. And that part's sort of been healed, but it's going to take a few days of processing. So this energy will assist in that healing while you're processing the healing. Most people with the healing, when something's removed, usually takes about 3 days. Some people more, some people less. And part of it depends on how sensitive you are too. So just breathe it in. Imagine the energies of healing just going exactly to where it needs to go. Okay, so that was Healing Pulse number 3 for the night. So here are my commercials. Thanksgiving evening, I like to do something a little bit extra and special. So we will still be doing the regular Thursday night mini healings at 7. will be done somewhat early, about 7:45 in that Central Time. And at 8 o'clock Central, I will be offering what I call an evening of grace. And I will talk about why I'm calling it an evening of grace. And I will be doing some Reiki. So the newest Reiki that is out there that I'm taking coursework on is called Usui Holy Fire Reiki. It is quite powerful. Because I sort of walked away from Reiki. It just didn't resonate with me. And then a friend of mine shared this Reiki energy with me, and I was like, wow. And so we'll probably start with just a healing pulse to make everything calm and quiet. And then I will be doing a little meditation using the Reiki energy. And then I also will be sharing energy. I'm not sure what the order of that's going to be, but I'm expecting it will go somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. So not too long. And it will be recorded. So if you are not able to be there because you're with your family and friends, this will be available for you on the replay. But if you're available or you're with your family and want to share this with them, I highly encourage you to stop on by. So it's part of my give back. And this week number 70 of doing these mini healings. And for quite a while I was advertising, so I've sort of quit advertising, but I think I might need to start again, just because I want to reach out to more people. So if you've got people that you think might enjoy this, please share. And also coming up next Saturday, the 27th, there are some of you who have taken Reiki 1 and 2. I've asked you about doing, participating in a Reiki share with several of my Reiki students that we had a training in October. So I will send you Zoom links for that. If you have had Reiki training and I have not spoken with you because I didn't know, and you're interested in doing a free Reiki share, let me know and I will send you an invite. I'm trying to think what else. For Christmas, I am doing a discounted rate for new clients. So if you are already a client, but maybe you want to buy somebody a gift certificate who has not seen me, I am giving a $30 off coupon. So, because my regular rate's $90, so this will be $30 for new clients. Or if you know someone that would like to see me and they're new, through the end of the year, I'm offering new client sessions for $60. So that's my commercial for tonight. I think I probably should record something. It just always seems so awkward when I do it. Or maybe I should have Joan do it. Joan does such a nice little promo whenever she chats about my stuff. So love you, Joan. All right, so let's do one thing with the map of consciousness, and then we will do the aura strengthening with the healing pulse to go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull up my little map of consciousness thing, because last week we got up to 220. And we started, I think, was it 150 or 125? We started at 125. And so with this, the map of consciousness, it's sort of like the higher, the better. See what I tell you? Isn't Joan great? I'm like that with other people, but when you say that about yourself, it makes you just sound like, I don't know, conceited or something, but yeah. Okay, so I'm pulling up the map of consciousness thing. And let me just see what tool we're going to use. I think the past few weeks I've done like a screen share. I don't know. Do you guys even like that? Or is it just a little distracting when I do the screen share? Okay, so we are going to work using the negative beliefs and see what we can remove. So we're going to remove I am unwelcome. Let's see what else. Ooh, I'm nothing. Yeah, that one needs to be released, definitely. I am imperfect. With that, I don't think that's entirely negative. I think everyone's imperfect. But I think what we want to release is the thought that it's a bad thing. Because I think the concept of being perfect is not good. We're going to release I am stupid because I don't think anyone is stupid. Okay. That's what we're going to work on releasing. And then we'll see about some positive things. Joan, you are always so nice. Okay. So we are going to release. So with this, just imagine that this is not part of the message in your head. Especially if these words, if you hear these words sometimes, imagine they are not there any longer. So we're going to release and remove I am unwelcome. Okay, so that released. We're releasing and removing I'm nothing. So that released. We're releasing I am imperfect, especially when it's considered an extreme negative. Okay. I am stupid. We're going to release that. Okay, so that did release all 4 of them. So let's go back. I want to replace that now with something more positive. So let's just see. Just a moment. I'm going to yell at Dexter. What are you doing? When they're really quiet and then all of a sudden they like walk away and you hear something, it's sort of like, what are you doing? You're into trouble. I just know it. And that's these 2. Dexter, what are you doing? So little Duncan, Mr. Innocent, when he gets bored, he goes in, and if I have like my bottle of melatonin on my nightstand, he will climb on the bed, climb on the nightstand, grab the bottle, and if I have the patio door open, he will take the bottle outside and chew on the top. A couple times I've gone out in the yard and there's my melatonin with the top chewed off, but luckily all the pills were still inside. But just a little crazy. All right, so where am I going here? So I've got negative beliefs. Okay. I'm just looking for exactly the right thing. Sorry, it's taking me a while, isn't it? Okay, I'm getting there. Let's see. Okay. I'm getting closer to finding, because I want at least one. Okay, so we are replacing the negative with I am welcome. I am everything. I am as perfect as I want or need to be. And I am smart. All right, so let's reinforce these, and then we'll test and see how much we change. Okay, so did that reinforce all 4 of those? Yes. Okay, let's see where you're at. I'm going to pull up my little chart and see. So I think the next level up was a bit of a jump compared to the lower level. So let's see. So we were at 220 before. Ooh, we jumped up to 250. So 250 was the next level up. Here are things on the 250 level for the level of consciousness: enabling, satisfactory, neutrality, trust, and release. So that's actually a step up than where we were last week. And this is the best we've been at since we started. So very exciting. Then I've got one more thing. So as some of you know, I'm working on my master's. I'm writing a horrible paper. My advisor really thinks I need to do a survey. I'm not loving that. He wants me to put things out on my website, but I'm like, I think it's not just my website. It's my peeps, my Thursday night peeps. So I'm putting together some questions that would be helpful for me to know, because my final capstone project is about marketing and connecting with new people to tell them about my healing business. And so I'm thinking, yes, exactly, Joan. So I've got a list of things I think would be helpful for me to know. But if any of you have any suggestions about things that, like when you first met me, most of you, I sort of know how you got to me. There's a couple of you that I'm not quite sure. And so you might find me asking that. But, like for most of you, have you been to my website? Do you hate it? Are there things you like? Is it helpful? Or why are you here Thursday nights? So those are some of my questions. But if you've got questions that maybe you're even curious about what other people's experiences are, let me know and say, hey, Christine, or hey, Summer, you should ask people this, or you should ask them this. Let me know. That would be really helpful to me. Okay, so let's do our final Healing Pulse of the Night. And with this, oh, there's Valerie. Valerie, you and I will chat later because a lot of stuff came up for you and your family. So we're going to do the aura strengthening. And then with this, you'll get a week's worth of healing pulses to go. Oh, Joanne, that's so sweet. Okay, so let's do the final healing pulse of the night. So if you haven't done this before, we're going to have you send this to your aura and work on strengthening your aura, because the great thing about having a really strong aura is it helps repel negativity. And you know that during this time, with COVID and all the other hateful things that are going on, you really need to repel negativity. So rub your hands together. And with this, you can pull in healing pulse energy, but I also encourage you sometimes just to practice doing this with your very own energy. So if you are going to use the healing pulse energy, just imagine that as you're rubbing your hands together, that you're just telling the universe, yeah, I want to use the healing pulse energy. And then however you send the energy to your aura, if you do like this or you do like this. Oh, and then we have another little doggy that's going to help. All right, so let's go ahead and send energy to your aura. And then during this little processing, you will get a week's worth of healing pulses in a baggie to use at any time you want. You basically just rub your hands together and imagine that you are using the healing energy. So just breathe that energy in. Okay, so that was the last healing pulse of the night. So thank you. I appreciate all of you for coming. Next week, Thursday night mini healings, 7 p.m. Central. And then if you want to experience Holy Fire Reiki at 8 Central, I will be doing an evening of Reiki. And it's going to be really relaxing. And you'll just basically take in the energy. So let me know if you have any questions about any of that. That is part of my Thanksgiving give back. It is free. You are very welcome, Valerie. You're welcome, Donna. Thank you, everyone. And if you have any suggestions for my questions for my survey, let me know. It's so much easier when other people are doing this. When you're doing it for yourself, it's just harder. So you get some sleep, Marina. I know it's late there, or should I say very early in the morning. Good night, Anne-Marie. Divine, if you're still there, come back next week. Good night, Joan. Good night, Sissy.